Welcome to the New This Week video for the week of March 9th. I'm going to start off today with one of my pet peeves of books, and it's not Ant. It's the fact that it doesn't come out on time, another late book. I have no idea how Erik Larson even gets paid for work. When he decides to put out a Savage Dragon, it comes out, I don't know, every 3 months or whatever. He was so excited. Hey, we're taking over this Ant book. This is going to be great. We're doing it. Well, yep, 3 issues, 8 months, good job. We've got Apache Delivery Service, issue number 2, 3. Can't find a number on the thing, so issue number 3. Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, number 1. Ta-da! The Cimmerian, Hour of the Dragon, number 1. Nice cover there. They also have like a Marvel homage cover that looks like, I think, one of the Secret Wars cover books. And then we've got Daisy, number 4. Book is interesting. The Devil Tree, number 4. And Draculina, number 2. Evil Ernie, number 4 is out this week. Always has interesting covers. Here's a semi-popular book. The Good Asian, number 9. To come out on March 9th. And King of Spies, I believe the last issue. Number 4. Mark Millar. Mark Miller. Another book. Another book out on time. Several books a month. Guy's the man. Here's a book that looks really interesting. Issue number 1 from AWA. Hit Me. I believe this is a book about she gets paid by the bruise. So, you want to smack her in the face twice, you're going to have to pay her twice. But yeah, I guess she gets paid every time she gets hit and she gets bruised. Interesting. Human Remains, number 6 by Vault. And we have The Kill Lock, number 1. And this book's been coming out for a long time, and it's issue number 3. They've done tons of miniseries, though. Lady Mechanica has its little following. Doesn't sell a lot, but I give the guy credit. He keeps on putting it out. Plugs along. Now we got another Jeff Lemire book out this week called Little Monsters, number 1. Could be about any of the kids in your neighborhood. But I hope this book finishes better, or is even better than Primordial. If you read the end of that book, what a piece of trash. Decent stories till it goes, and then just garbage. Let's hope that this book is good, and he sticks the landing at the end of this series. I'm not a big Dustin Nguyen fan. He teams with him a lot. You kind of just get used to his artwork. Could be interesting, though, because Jeff Lemire is usually okay. He's usually okay, and he puts out a ton of books. Again, always on time, and most of it is quality. Lunar Room number 3, or Lunar Room number 3. That's enough said about that book. All right, and we got Merlin and Hector, issue number 2. Just got to read it just for the title's name. And one of my favorite books, there's a new story in the anthology in this book. Issue number 3 of Monkey Meat. Yes, this, again, has got to be one of the worst looking books I have ever seen. Maybe not as bad as Department of Truth. No, worse than Department of Truth. Because it's goofy. It doesn't matter if there's a monkey in this book. I will not open it up and read it. Thank God it's a 5-issue series. I'm surprised it's going to make all 5 issues. But they made it to 3. Maybe they'll be kind enough. They'll throw the guy a bone and say, yeah, we'll do the other 2. It's losing money, but who cares? Then we got Shobo and Shoff, issue number 2 of New Masters. Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology number 2. Another AWA book. Issue number 2 of Primos. And the cousin to Radiant Black, Radiant Red, issue number 1. Last week we had a comment on the comment channels about, did Red Room come out this week? No, but it's out this week. Issue number 1. And we've got a book called Soltaic, number 1. And I hate when this happens, but we got Sonic the Hedgehog number 3 of the Imposter Syndrome. We don't need that. We don't need any crazy imposter Sonics running around. 1 is all we need. And we've got Spawn number 327, longest running independent title in the history of comics. Way to go, Todd. And there's 2 books here. We Live, Age of the Palladians, issue number 1. This is black. And then to follow up with it, we've got the We Live, Age of the Palladians, number 1, white. I guess they go together. Not quite sure how. We'll take a look at it. All right, that's the end of the independents. Nothing really rousing this week. And it's going to be less rousing when we get to the DC stuff. Can you hear the enthusiasm in my voice? We've got Action Comics, War World Rising trade paperback. Yep, this cover would make me want to pick up this book. Batgirls number 4. This almost looks like the artwork from Monkey Meat, actually. I Am Batman number 7. And it keeps going. Unfortunately, this is the last issue of Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. Probably the only fun Batman book out there. But still Batman. Oh, we're going. It hasn't stopped. Batman Urban Legends number 13. Beautiful. Oh, here we still go. Detective Comics number 1056. This book's weekly. It needs to stop. Okay? Just bring it back out once a month or even twice a month. Every other week. It needs to stop. And we're coming up to Amazing Spider-Man in Marvel. That needs to stop coming out weekly also. We'll just lump that in together. Oh! Another Batman book. Future State Gotham. I'm shocked. Number 11. But who's reading it? And we've got Joker. Number 13. Now back by popular demand. Season number 2. Following the hit CW TV show, Naomi, number 1. Pick it up today. And then we've got Nubia. Trial. I don't know. The Amazonians again. They cover up the title. I could care less, but it's issue number 6. They don't put the title. We're not talking about it. Some idiot again put a book out of order. I gotta fire this guy. He is horrible. We got Justice League versus a Legion of Superheroes, number 2. But maybe he did it on purpose, that he'd think I'd just skip it to not bore you with more garbage that's still coming out. But here it is. Then we've got Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 9. He's hanging out with Nightwing this week. Here's a book that's kind of late. Don't know how late, because again, I pretty much forgot about the book. Superman vs. Lobo, book number 3. Last issue of this Black Label hit. And for anyone who cares, the Trial of the Amazons has started. Issue number 1. That's it for DC. So far, nothing to be excited about this week. Pooh times 2. Here we go to the third. There's a couple books here that in this group that I like or I'm excited about, but we'll see. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 92. That's not one of them. We got the second printing of the Black Panther number 3. Not that either. Captain Carter, number 1. Not quite sure what to say about this book. I'm not going to read it. Hopefully someone comes in and says, hey, it's good, I should read it. Oh, Buff's going to read it, so he can tell me if it's worth reading, and then I'll read it. If I get, hey, this is worth reading, I will look at it. This series has been really, really popular. Devil's Reign. Issue number 5. We got one more issue left to finish it off. And this should probably sell really well too. Devil's Reign Moon Knight number 1. It's a one-shot. Some of these have been selling pretty decent. And this is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is hot as hell right now. Devil's Reign Superior 4 number 3. Probably the greatest movie that Marvel has ever put out that took, 3 hours to watch. The Eternals, number 10. The greatest movie, probably the greatest book that is out there with the greatest characters. I mean, I have never heard anyone complain that an Eternals book was not good. So...
It's because they don't read them.
Exactly. Right. Well, we have Eternals number 10. The movie's not good. The book's not good. Stay away from it all. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop number 5. I like Kate Bishop Hawkeye. I've only looked at the first issue so far. I am going to read this series. I've enjoyed it. We have the second printing of Moon Knight number 7. And there's a book I'm really looking forward to, and I'm not looking, and it's not because I care about it's the Punisher number 1. It's not because I care about, which they're changing they have to change the skull or they're doing whatever. Don't care. I just like the Punisher. It's 15 minutes of just mindless action. You don't have to think. You get what you get. You know what the Punisher's going to be. If you don't like that sort of thing, don't buy it. But it's just going to be some guy shooting people up. This is the book that I'm looking forward to. Got Sabretooth number 2. I can't believe we're going to be talking about this book. We got She-Hulk number 1, second printing. Okay? I can't believe how many copies of number 1 and number 2 have both sold. This is She-Hulk, guys. But I'm glad you guys like She-Hulk. But I've never sold. I've been over for 29 years. So I've seen 15 different She-Hulk titles come through. I've never sold this much together, except for these two issues. It's awesome. Keep it up. Hopefully you guys enjoy it enough that you want to buy number 3. It's good to see a minor character actually getting a little successful, and you may see more things than just Spider-Man, X-Men, any mutant stuff on the shelf. You'll see more variety of stuff if you support books like this. And then I believe there's a one-shot, Spider-Gwen Gwenverse, number 1. I'm going to move on to some Star Wars. We got some Star Wars Crimson Reign, number 3. Little Yoda in the background over here. Floating ghost. Star Wars Han Solo and Chewbacca, number 1. And this book's a fun book too. This is a favorite of mine. Strange Academy, number 17. Now we've got the second printing of Thor number 21, written by the great Donny Cates. It's been selling out. I mean, hey, if you put a new character in it, and you tell the internet, hey, this guy could show up somewhere, it's gonna sell. Donny Cates is a marketing genius. He's put stuff in Thor. He's put stuff in his Venom. He's done it now. He's a marketing genius. 3 years from now, no one's going to care, but right now, people do. Good job, Donnie. And still speaking of Donnie, we got this week's issue of Thor 23. Now we're going to a third printing here of Timeless, number 1. People are going to want this one now because Miracle Man's is on the front here. Woo. And Venom number 6. I'm going to move to the Women of Marvel issue number 1. And I'm going to finish it off with a couple books. Well, there's actually 3 books. But there's two here that shouldn't be coming out at the same time. But for somehow they screwed up an every other week thing, and so we're getting two books the same week that really probably shouldn't, because it's going to confuse people. We have the 10 Deaths of Wolverine, number 4, and we have the 10 Lives of Wolverine, number 4. Now I can picture most of these meatheads coming to the shelf, looking and says, "Wow, which cover do I want? This is great," not realizing that they're actually 2 different books. Marvel had the right thing going when 1 week was Lives, 1 week was Death, but now we've got them both, and only one's going to get sold. It's going to be, "This is the prettier cover. I like this." It's going to be a debacle at every store across the United States. Thanks, Marvel. And we're going to finish this whole thing off with X-Men Legends number 12. That's all we've got here this week. I'm more excited this week about any Marvel books than any other thing, and usually it's always independent stuff that I'm loving. This week, it's not there. The few good Marvel books. Overall, it's kind of a lackluster week, but there's still quite a few books. So take your pick. Enjoy what you want to read. Read what you want to read. You don't have to listen to me. Don't have to listen to anyone out there. The internet doesn't have to tell you you should be reading this. Read what you want, and you'll have a great week of reading. We'll see you next week.
Thank God that's over.